afternoon. It's time for Tech Ambassadors, and here I am again, Jordan Jenkins. The day has just flown by. I don't know what your day's been like, but mine has been very busy. One of the things that happened to me today was a long discussion with a job developer, and that's going to be the crux of our discussion today. But before we do that, let's just go to this slide that some of you may be tired of seeing, but for those that are new, it's important to remember what Tech Ambassadors is all about. We're trying to come up with practical ways to use personal technology, the stuff that you come home with and walk around every day, your iPhones, your iPads, your Kindles, whatever. And how can that be used by people with cognitive disabilities to live more independently, do more for themselves in the community. We have lots of resources. Just go to this website, the technology portion of our webpage, and you can see an awful lot of stuff that we've done in the past. And of course, our conference is coming up, March 28th, 2019. I would love to have somebody present at it who does field work, who is a DSP or working as a job developer or in a day program or residential situation that might have had some experience with tech or thinks that they have a situation that could be ripe for a technology solution. Today's discussion started out with me talking with my friend, the job developer, about trying to find some scheduling apps. And that triggered a lot of thoughts in my head. We've done an awful lot of webinars, but what are we trying to do at the end of the day with the people that we support? We're helping them get to the point where they need the lowest level of supports from us. To start this, it's important to sit down with the individual and actually do a series of questions that gets them to start focusing on themselves, not their staff, not their parents, not their friends, but themselves. This first step is critical. They have to think about themselves, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, the things that they dream about. And the dreams can be something exciting like, let's go to Paris, or it can be something basic that has something to do with them and their lives. The practicalities are that a lot is done for people just because of the rush of the day. I have a form that I used in self-advocacy that I think still has a great deal of utility. And these forms, the I am form and the who does what form, is part of the attachments to this presentation. If you just sat down with somebody that maybe they're still living at home, maybe they're living in their own place, maybe they're living in a group residence, who does these things for you? When you wake up in the morning, is it because a staff comes to you, or does your alarm start off? Do you need help showering? If you can do it independently, that would be great. But if you can't, well, c'est la vie. You can get that assistance. Who picks out your clothes for the day? This is a question I often ask people. Who picks out your clothes? And lots of times they're very proud when they say that they did it. But very often they didn't have that much choice in it. And you go through all the activities of daily living lists, brushing your teeth, breakfast. Who actually made the breakfast? Was it you? Was it your mom or dad? Was it the staff? Did you have any say in it? And you're off to program or to your job. You pack a lunch. Who packed the lunch? Did somebody pack it for you? Or did somebody else tell you, ask you what kind of food do you want today? Did you have a choice? All these things are so important to give a person a sense of self and not to be that person living in a hotel-like situation at home or in a group residence. Did you have a choice in what kind of work that you do? Or was it the first thing that a job developer brought to you? Do you have a choice in what kind of recreation you do as an individual versus the house? Do you get a chance to do things just for yourself? Vacation, friends, worship, all these things are so important. There are a lot of people out there that have limitations that prevent them from doing some of these things, but there are still an awful lot of other things that they can do for themselves. Some of them may not understand arithmetic and banking, but I'm sure they could pick out the colors they like in their closet. So again, the whole theme of this is let me try. Okay, well, you may fail. That's part of life. It's okay to try. You can be helped by some apps. You could do the same thing with some visuals on a PowerPoint slide, or you could just use one of these apps and take a screenshot of the steps. Here somebody's learning how to make coffee, and this is through the University of Victoria Can Plan app. On 9, that's another visual schedule where you just take a bunch of pictures and it teaches somebody how to do the process step by step. How do I actually make a sandwich for myself? Life has to be more than putting out the silverware and the table mat. There should be more involvement. Of course, here I go, I'm putting my parent hat on, but I think people thrive if they do things for themselves. So the more that they can try, and I'm not saying we should try this at 7:45 in the morning when you're trying to get a whole house ready for the day, but maybe when people come home and they're just trying to relax, and you say, would you like to learn how to make a cup of coffee? I bet you an awful lot of people would like to do this for themselves. Or whatever, go shopping for their clothes. And there are people that are doing this out there as far as staff support, but I don't think it's the majority at this point. That's my own personal opinion. Probably I'll get a lot of comments on this. But let people try to do things. And if you try and make coffee and the cup falls to the floor and breaks, it's not the end of the world. You get another cup and you try again. This is a screenshot of a page from the Goal Plan Do app, which I've mentioned before in previous webinars. And this is the essence of, okay, you want to do this task, making a sandwich. Okay. What worked when you made the sandwich? What were the obstacles? I didn't have exactly the food that I wanted. I had a hard time cutting the sandwich. I had to ask for help. Next time, I'll sit down with my support person, whether that's a family member or paid staff, and I'll ask them that I need help with this particular task, or I need help carrying the plate to the table with my sandwich on it. But not only should you strive to congratulate a person for doing well, but you can talk about what things were hard for you. And all these steps, you're learning more about the person, right? The more that we learn about the person, the more that we can help them. Next time, I'll be prepared. I'll complete my task 1, 2, 3, and I won't have all these issues. And what'll I do? I'll set up another goal. Maybe my next goal is to put outfits together for the days of the week and do it in advance so I have a lot of coordinated outfits instead of having the washed out, drab look of the past. Maybe I can look through some magazines and get ideas of current fashions and see maybe I can go to Target and go buy a new outfit with some of my saved money. Maybe I can do that instead of having somebody do that for me. Here's a great little app, Home Routines, and it takes these steps that you can do during the day. It's a little hard to see on the screen, but it's basically you choose the task that you have to do every day. You have to take your meds, you have to clean the dishes, you have to vacuum the house, whatever it is. Call paratransit, make your reservations. And as you're doing that, each time you do it, you get a reinforcing gold star. And you can look at it and say, gee, look what all I accomplished. Isn't this great? And by the end of the week, it keeps a cumulative total of your stars. And you can just try and beat the prior week, showing that you remembered everything that you're supposed to do. You're doing it for yourself. You're trying, and hopefully you achieve. And this app, I've mentioned before, but it's worth a revisit. Grateful. We should be grateful for those little things in life that, hey, I made my own bowl of soup today. I tried to call my family on the phone today. I picked out a program, I picked out a TV program that I wanted to watch, and I did that on my own. I decided what I want to do this weekend. I decided for myself. I wasn't passive. I wasn't just sitting there. I decided how to take care of myself. So Grateful is a good little app, and you could use so many other things with this. You could use the native apps of a iPad or an iPhone to record your thoughts either by letters or by voice. And just remember what good things happened today and be proud of the fact I learned how to make coffee today. Sometimes I know I've encountered it and imagine somebody out there has also encountered it. You can get involved in a situation when you're trying to support someone and they come back to you, oh, that won't work. I tried that before. No, I asked them for help and I didn't get it. And the whole world just seems hopeless. That's where something like Grateful comes in, because you can say, no, it's not hopeless. Look what you did the other day. You made your own sandwich for lunch. You called paratransit by yourself. You planned going to the movies this weekend. You did it, right? You said you wanted a job and you called up the job developer and you found out what happened with your interview the other day. You followed up on these things. You took charge of your life. You weren't waiting for life to happen. You took control of your life. So I think this is a huge message, and it isn't kind of like a message. It is a message, and we should remember that we're in the business of making the people we support themselves as much as possible, to be self-advocates, not just in political events or advocacy issues, but to really speak up for themselves on what they want to do in their lives and to help them as much as possible to accomplish those items. So I'm an old man. I'm entitled to my pearls of wisdom. These are my pearls of wisdom today. If you get a chance, download off the GoToWebinar app the Who Does What. Try it with the people that you support, and you may be surprised. And it may be a surprise for them too when they realize how much is done for them versus doing it for themselves. Don't forget, we're going to have another one of these sessions next Tuesday, 3:15 p.m. I hope you'll tell people about this. I hope you'll come back and spread the word. We're all trying to learn stuff together to be the best supports that we can be. Have a great day.